They said she was too weak, too emotional for real combat. But when 5 enemy rounds tore through 24-year-old Sophia Martinez's body in the Iraqi desert, she didn't collapse. Instead, she grabbed 2 wounded Navy SEALs and carried them 2.5 miles through hostile territory while coordinating airstrikes on a radio. What happened next would force an entire military base to question everything they thought they knew about true strength and prove that sometimes the most dangerous warrior is the one they underestimate the most. Quick pause before we continue. Tell us, where in the world are you watching from? If you're enjoying these stories, make sure to hit subscribe because tomorrow's episode is absolutely mind-blowing. The morning briefing at Forward Operating Base Phoenix began at 0530 hours, but Sophia Martinez had been awake since 0300. At 24, she was an anomaly at the base. Born in Boston, she'd enlisted after graduating from MIT with a degree in communications engineering. Her emotional responses to war had earned her a reputation she couldn't shake. The other soldiers called her tears behind her back, not with cruelty, but with dismissive affection reserved for someone they considered too sensitive for real combat. Sophia stood barely 5 feet 3 inches and weighed 120 pounds, but what really set her apart was her tendency to wear her heart on her sleeve. When civilian casualties were reported, her eyes would well up. When fellow soldiers were injured, she'd openly show concern in ways that made hardened veterans uncomfortable. The irony was that she was one of the most technically proficient soldiers on the base. Her marksmanship scores consistently ranked in the top 3%. Her knowledge of artillery coordination was encyclopedic. She could calculate firing solutions faster than most soldiers could with computers. She spoke 4 languages fluently and had intuitive understanding of Iraqi terrain from months of studying local geography. But none of that mattered when mission assignments were handed out. Major Derek Harrison stood at the front, addressing assembled teams about Operation Desert Eagle, a joint operation with SEAL Team 9 targeting high-value insurgents in Sector 15. When assignments were read, Sophia heard the familiar words. Martinez, you're managing base communications coordination. Monitor radio traffic and maintain situation reports. Base communications. Again, around her, selected team members exchanged confident grins while she might as well have been invisible. As the briefing dispersed, she caught fragments of conversation. Honestly, I'm glad Martinez isn't coming, Sergeant Jackson whispered. Last thing we need in a firefight is someone breaking down when things get intense. She's solid with technical stuff, Williams replied, but combat's different. When bullets fly, you need people who can compartmentalize. She feels everything too much. That afternoon, while the team prepared for their mission, Sophia studied Sector 15. She memorized every elevation marker, every potential cover position, every historical pattern of insurgent movement. She updated her knowledge of artillery positions and reviewed communication protocols until she could execute them in her sleep. The team departed at 1,400 hours, disappearing into the Iraqi desert. Sophia settled in for what she expected would be routine monitoring duty. She had no way of knowing that by sunset, her emotional investment and obsessive preparation would become the difference between life and death for Navy SEALs whose names she didn't even know yet. The first indication of trouble came at 1,537 hours. Williams's voice crackled through the radio, tight with panic. Base, this is Desert Eagle. We're taking heavy fire. We are under attack in Sector 15 Alpha. Sophia dropped her pen, hands automatically adjusting frequencies and boosting signal strength. Desert Eagle, this is base. What's your situation? Multiple hostiles, estimated 20 to 25 insurgents. They were waiting for us. This was an ambush, Williams replied over gunfire and explosions. We've got 3 men down, 2 critical, requesting immediate extraction and close air support. Her emotional response to crisis, the trait that made others doubt her combat readiness, now translated into hypervigilant focus. Her hands moved across the communication board without conscious thought. Desert Eagle, extraction team, is 25 minutes out. Can you hold position? Negative. Position compromised. We're moving to secondary extraction, but we've got wounded who can't move fast. We need artillery support. Sophia was already calculating firing solutions. She'd memorized Sector 15's terrain and could visualize insurgent positions based on sound patterns through the radio. Then came the transmission that changed everything. Base, SEAL Team 9, is also in Sector 15 and not responding to radio calls. Last known position grid 38 SMD 56789012334. Ice formed in Sophia's stomach. The SEALs were less than 2 miles from the ambush site. If compromised, 6 Special Operations soldiers were in immediate danger. At 1,552 hours, a weak voice broke through static. Any station, this is SEAL Team 9. We are down to 3 effectives with multiple wounded. Request immediate assistance. Sophia quickly triangulated their position. The SEALs were pinned in a ravine 2.5 miles from friendly forces with no extraction route. Someone needed to reach them physically, provide medical assistance, and coordinate their extraction. Everyone in the communications center looked at her. The SEALs needed help that only she was positioned to provide. "Martinez, what are you doing?" Sergeant Miller asked as Sophia began gathering gear. "I'm going to get them," she replied, strapping on her tactical vest. "You can't leave your post. You're not authorized for field operations." Sophia looked at Miller directly. "Those SEALs have maybe 20 minutes before they're overrun. Someone has to reach them now. You're communications, not infantry. You've never been in actual combat." The words stung, but as she listened to desperate radio calls from the pinned-down SEALs, her emotions crystallized into unshakable resolve. "I know the terrain better than anyone on this base. I can navigate there in 45 minutes. She finished her equipment check and headed for the exit. When Miller asked what to tell Major Harrison, she paused without turning around. "Tell him I went to bring our people home." The route took her through deceptively peaceful terrain. Rolling hills, sparse vegetation, rock outcroppings providing natural cover. She moved carefully but quickly, using navigation skills developed through months of studying local geography. 30 minutes in, she heard combat ahead. M4 carbines, mixed with AK-47s and RPG explosions. The SEALs were still fighting. "SEAL Team 9, this is base communications. I'm 1 click from your position, approaching from southeast," she radioed. "Base communications, this is Chief Thompson. We're in a ravine with steep walls. Enemy has high ground. We're low on ammunition. 3 men need immediate medical attention." "Copy. I'm carrying medical supplies and can coordinate artillery. Hold position. I'm coming to you." "Did you say you're approaching our position? Are you part of extraction?" Sophia smiled grimly. "Negative, Chief. I'm just someone who refuses to let good people die on a sunny day." The last 800 meters proved most challenging. She crested a ridge and saw the tactical situation. SEALs pinned in a narrow ravine, using destroyed vehicle for cover, while 15 enemy fighters controlled surrounding high ground. 3 SEALs were clearly wounded, lying motionless. But Sophia's terrain study had revealed something insurgents didn't know: a drainage channel along the ravine's eastern edge, invisible from most angles but providing concealed movement. She called in artillery coordinates, her obsessive study of procedures now key to saving lives. "Fire Direction Center, this is Forward Observer Martinez. I need immediate fire mission." After initial bureaucratic resistance, Chief Thompson authorized her as Forward Observer. Artillery rounds impacted with thunderous explosions, creating dust clouds and temporarily suppressing enemy fire. Sophia used the confusion to descend through the drainage channel, treacherous loose rocks and thorny vegetation, but providing needed concealment. Halfway down, rifle fire cracked and something tugged her sleeve. Insurgents had spotted her movement. She low-crawled the remaining distance, finally dropping into the ravine beside the SEAL's position. "I'll be damned. You actually made it," Chief Thompson said with disbelief and admiration. Sophia immediately assessed the wounded. Davis unconscious but breathing. Rodriguez critical with shrapnel wounds. Williams unresponsive with head trauma. All 3 were dead weight, requiring carry across impossible terrain. "Chief, I need more artillery to suppress enemy positions." "Then we're moving these men out." "Move them where?" "We're completely surrounded." Sophia pointed toward her drainage route. "That leads to a defensive position 600 meters south. Better cover. Accessible to helicopter extraction. We can't carry 3 casualties up that slope under fire." "We're not going up. We're going through." Using complex fire missions, she created suppression, allowing SEAL movement. But someone needed to provide direct covering fire for their advance. Despite Thompson's protests, Sophia began engaging enemy positions with precisely aimed shots. Her marksmanship training paid immediate dividends. First shot eliminated a fighter directing fire. Second took out a machine gunner. Each shot was calculated to maximize tactical effect while conserving ammunition. Insurgents concentrated fire on her position, but her covering fire allowed Thompson's team to advance through the channel, carrying wounded between them. That's when the first round found her. The AK-47 bullet struck her left shoulder, spinning her around. Pain flooded her system, but her mind remained focused. Thompson's team was still vulnerable. Rodriguez depended on her medical care. Extraction was minutes away. She retrieved her rifle and continued firing with her good arm. The second round hit her right thigh. The third caught her left side. The fourth grazed her head. The fifth shattered her left wrist. But Sophia Martinez refused to fall. Despite bleeding from 5 wounds, she maintained covering fire until Thompson's team reached her position. "Jesus Christ, Martinez," Thompson exclaimed, seeing her condition. "You've been hit multiple times." "I'm fine. Get them ready for extraction." Helicopters 5 minutes out. She wasn't fine. Blood pooled beneath her position, vision tunneling from blood loss. But the mission wasn't complete. The extraction required carrying 3 wounded men 300 meters to the landing zone while under fire. Using her functioning arm, Sophia managed to lift Williams into a modified carry despite enormous strain on her wounded shoulder. The journey across broken terrain while bleeding from 5 wounds was the most difficult challenge of her life. Every step sent agony through her body, vision blurring from blood loss. But her emotional investment, the trait others questioned, provided psychological strength to push through impossible physical limitations. Halfway to extraction, her legs gave out. She collapsed, but forced herself back up through pure determination. "Keep moving. Don't stop for me." As the helicopter approached, insurgents broke through artillery barrage to engage the aircraft. Sophia lowered Williams behind cover, raised her rifle, and began suppressing enemy positions, firing at the helicopter. Each shot sent agony through her wounded shoulder. Each muzzle flash revealed her position, but she continued providing covering fire necessary for helicopter approach. The Black Hawk touched down in dust and rotor wash. Sophia maintained covering fire until the last moment, then collapsed as blood loss overwhelmed her system. The crew chief reached her as she lost consciousness, rifle still clutched in her hand. Blood had soaked through her vest, pooling beneath her position. "Multiple wounded. This one's critical," the medic shouted. She carried Williams 300 meters with 5 gunshot wounds. Thompson told the medic. "Been coordinating artillery and covering fire for 45 minutes. During the flight to trauma center, Thompson pieced together her full accomplishment. Unauthorized navigation of 2.5 miles through hostile territory, complex artillery coordination, medical treatment under fire, carrying wounded SEALs while absorbing 5 gunshot wounds." "Who is she?" Rodriguez asked weakly. Thompson looked at Sophia's unconscious form, blood-stained uniform, small frame that had carried men twice her size through hell. "She's the soldier they said was too soft for combat." Turns out they were wrong about everything. 6 months later, Colonel Sophia Martinez stood before Pentagon leadership, Medal of Honor gleaming on her chest. The woman called too emotional had become the soldier they called when conventional approaches weren't enough. Her story changed everything. Not just her career, but the military's entire understanding of what it meant to be strong enough to serve. From which city are you watching this video? Please write it in the comments. Don't forget subscribe to She Force Tales.